For assignment 8, Introduction to HTML and CSS, you're going to start doing some coding. So the first thing that you need is you need a web text editor named Brackets. And if you're working on a classroom computer, Brackets should be installed already, but it is a free software application, and there's a link to download that here if you don't already have it installed on your computer. I do recommend watching this brief introduction video for Brackets. And then the first thing that we ought to do is to create an assignment folder. So I'm just going to create one on my desktop, and it's going to be my last name underscore VCD 1015 underscore 08 for assignment 8. I'm going to open that assignment folder, and let's look at what we need here. So we need an assignment folder with 2 folders inside of that. So there's 2 parts to assignment 8. There's an HTML practice, and then we're going to work on some CSS coding. So I'm going to create another new folder inside of the assignment folder, and I'll call that HTML practice. And then a second folder, and call that one Learn CSS. Next thing we can do is download this image file. So I'm going to click on the image file, and it's just an image of the Google logo. So I right click on that image, choose Save Image As, and then navigate to my HTML practice folder, and inside of that HTML practice folder I'm going to save this. Now you want to make sure that it just is called logo.png. So let's just delete where it says 3 inside of the parentheses. And if you're not seeing .png, it could be because you have this little hide extension box checked, and it's still a PNG, but we just can't see that extension name. So uncheck that and then choose Save. All right, and for the HTML practice, what we're going to do is just use brackets to create this basic HTML-based web page. And on the left-hand side is the HTML code, and on the right-hand side is the same code as it appears when it's viewed in a browser window. So I'm going to move this window off to the side. I'm going to open up brackets, and I'm going to just start typing in this code. So let's open brackets. If you're opening brackets for the first time, you'll see that it will probably default to this index.html file. And this index.html file has all of this code and content that's displayed in this window. And we can take a look at it. There's a little preview button here that if I click on that, it'll open up the file in a browser window, so that you can see that the HTML code looks quite a bit different than how the browser window will display it. So what we want to do for this assignment is to go ahead and create a new file. And let's, before we do anything, just do a save as. And we'll save this as index.html. And save that into your HTML practice folder alongside your logo. And then we can just start typing the code. So we need to type in our HTML tag. And in brackets, when I type in the opening tag and I hit return, the closing tag will automatically appear. So I'm going to hit return a couple more times to give myself some room to work here. And then in between the HTML tags, I'm going to type a head tag. So I hit tab to indent this a bit. And then underneath the head tags, I'm going to type in a body tag, opening and closing. The opening tag is the word inside of two brackets, and the closing tag has the addition of this /. So right now we have the main components of our web page. Everything on our web page is going to be contained within the HTML tags. We have a head area and then we have a body area. Everything that's displayed on our web page or that displays inside of the browser window needs to be placed in between the body tags. But first, let's go ahead and type in our title tag and type in a title. So we'll call this VCD 1015. And then in the body tag, let's type in a paragraph. So I'm going to create a P tag, opening and closing, and then just type in my content. And at this point, if I preview my, I'm going to save. So I'm just going to hit Command S to save. But before I do that, just notice that there's a little round dot next to the file name, and that round dot indicates that I've made some changes to my file since the last time I saved it, and I need to save. So Command S, and that dot disappears, and then I can go ahead and preview. So I'm going to click this little lightning bolt icon, and my page appears. So you can see that the title is appearing in this browser tab, and then my first paragraph is also visible in the page area, and that's because, again, anything that's in between the body tags is the content that will appear in the browser window. All right, so I'm going to move this off to the side and just continue to type. I need a second paragraph, and instead of typing it from scratch, I'm just going to copy and paste the first one and then just change the word to second. And below the paragraph tags, let's create an ordered list. So OL for the ordered list tag. An ordered list is a numbered list. Hit return, and then type in my first list item. So under the first list item, go ahead and type in your name. Oops. And I need two more list items in my ordered list. So I'm going to just copy and paste the first one twice and then change the content. So again, I'm following along the example and then just typing the code that's been given to me. I'll make this a little bit bigger, it'll be easier to see. Alright, so I'm going to save and refresh my browser window. So if I click on my browser window and hit Command R to refresh, I have my ordered list in there. So an ordered list is in this case a numbered list, 1, 2, 3. So we need another list, and this one will be an unordered list. And generally, an unordered list is a list that, rather than numbers, each item begins with a bullet point. And it's just the same information. So hit save again, refresh my browser window. Well, it's already there. Okay, so I've got my two types of lists. Now what we're going to do is add a hyperlink. So I'm going to type in the tag for that. It's a space href equal. And we're going to link to the Tri-C homepage. All right, save. Take a look at what we have in our browser window, and we have our link. And if I click on that link, you can see that it's a hyperlink because it's got this underline, and we go right to the Tri-C homepage. Okay, now the last thing we need on this page is our logo. So let's type in the tag for placing an image. And we'll type in logo.png, that's the name of our logo. And we also need to provide some alt text. So alt text means that if our image were not appearing on the web page for some reason, let's say there's a broken link, or a user has images turned off in their browser, and also in the case of a person who would use a screen reader, we need to have some descriptive text that describes the image that we're going to place. All right. All right, and there's our logo. So this is our first web page, and as long as you have your index.html saved, and it's saved inside of this assignment folder, and it's saved inside of HTML practice, then you're all finished with that part. So you want to make sure that the logo and the HTML file are both inside of the same folder. Just for example, if I were to move this logo outside of that folder, and then I went back to my page, then, well, my image is missing, but I do have my alternative text that is telling me the image that was supposed to go there. So let's put that back. Okay, and then our next folder is for the next tutorial.